Hello friends, welcome to Shankar IAS Academy Daily Newspaper Analysis. Today's date is 27/4/2024. Behind me are the list of articles that we are about to discuss today. So without much delay, let's get started. Look at this 2022 prelims question. Gold trans or reserve trans refers to option A, a loan system of World Bank, option B, one of the operations of central bank, option C, a credit system granted by WTO to its members, option D, a credit system granted by IMF to its members. Before answering this question, let us learn some basics about India's foreign exchange reserves. Know that the foreign exchange reserve consists of foreign currency assets, gold reserve, special drawing rights in IMF, and reserve transposition in the IMF. If you look at the total composition of forex, the foreign currency asset, that is FCA, constitute the largest portion. FCA are maintained as a multi-currency portfolio which comprises of major currencies such as US dollars, euro, pound sterling, Japanese yen, etc. All these currencies are valued in terms of US dollars. Now coming to the special drawing rights, see, they are the artificial currency instrument created by IMF in 1969. IMF uses them for internal accounting purposes. The value of SDR is calculated from the weighted basket of major currencies such as US dollar, euro, Japanese yen, Chinese renminbi, and British pound. The SDR interest rate provides the basis for calculating the interest rate charged from the member country when they borrow from IMF. Note that it is the interest rate paid to the member for their remunerated creditor position in the IMF. Now we will see about reverse transposition of India in IMF. See, IMF is funded through its members and their quota contribution. The reserve trans is basically an emergency account that an IMF member can access at any time without agreeing to a condition or paying a service fee. In other words, a portion of a member country's quota that can be withdrawn free of charge at its own discretion. The fourth component of a forex reserve is gold reserves. Know that gold reserves are maintained by RBI. The value of gold reserves is expressed either in US dollars or Indian rupee. Know that India is the 11th largest country in the world in terms of gold reserves. USA is the country with the largest amount of gold reserves worldwide. Now coming back to the question, gold trans or reserve trans is a component of member countries' quota with IMF, that is in the form of gold or foreign currency. For any member country, out of the total quota, 25% should be paid in the form of foreign currency or gold. Hence, this is called reserve trans or gold trans. The remaining 75% can be in domestic currencies and it is called credit trans. It is basically an emergency account that IMF member can access without agreeing to a condition or paying a service fee, as I said before. So the correct answer is option D, a credit system granted by IMF to its members. With this, let's move to the next question. Now look at this question from UPSC 2022 Prelims. Yoga Vasishta was translated into Persian by Nizamuddin Panipati during the reign of option A, Akbar, option B, Humayun, option C, Shah Jahan, option D, Aurangzeb. See, this is a tricky question from medieval India. If you know, attend or else leave. Now let's start answering. Yoga Vasishta, also known as Maharamayana, is a historically popular and influential syncretic philosophical text of Hinduism. It is important to know that Nizamuddin Panipati was Akbar's Mirbakshi, translated Yoga Vasishta into Persian during Akbar's reign. So the correct option is option A, Akbar. With this, let's move on to our daily newspaper analysis. Look at this article from The Hindu. It talks about inhuman situation prevailing in the tea industry at the Diwar region of West Bengal. In our discussion, let us understand about duars and how it aids in tree production. See, duars are the floodplains in the regions of northeastern India at the foot of east central Himalayas. It is divided by rivers like Santosh into the western and eastern duars. Both were ceded by Bhutan to British at the end of Bhutan War in 1864-65. The eastern duars are situated in the western Assam. It consists of plain area intersected by numerous rivers and only slightly populated. The western duars lies in the northern West Bengal state and is a portion of Terai, a lowland belt linking the Himalayas and the plain region. The western duars is an important center of tea industry. Now let us see how they are formed. Duars are the food plain created by the minerals that are deposited on the edges of rivers during a flood. Note that they are called as slit when they are formed by the overflow of rivers when they leave certain particles behind. Know that the altitude of duar typically varies from one area to the other. This is from a minimum of 90 meter in one area to a maximum of 1750 meter in other areas. Now moving forward, let's see how duars have become an important center for tea production. See, geographically, duars are blessed with the factors like moderate slope, thick soil cover with high organic content, well-distributed rainfall throughout the year and mild winters. The British, taking advantages of these physical conditions, introduced tea plantation in this region. Now let us see the factors that help tea plantation here. one by one. Firstly, the climate in Duars is ideal for tea cultivation. This is characterized by moderate temperatures and high rainfall throughout the year. Note that the tea plant thrive in such conditions which support lush growth and healthy yields. Secondly, the Duars are situated at the foothills of eastern Himalayas, providing a range of altitude suitable for tea cultivation. The rolling hills and the slopes offer varying microclimates that can be tailored to different tea varieties, enhancing the diversity and the quality of tea produced. Nextly, the soil in the Duar region is fertile and well drained, making it conducive to tea cultivation. The tea plants require specific soil condition to grow optimally, and the soil composition in the Duars supports healthy root development and nutrient uptake. In addition to this, the numerous rivers and the streams that flow through the Duar region provide ample water resource for irrigation and tea processing. The reliable access to water ensure the tea plants receive adequate moisture, especially during dry periods, and facilitates the processing of freshly plucked tea leaves. That's all about this discussion. With this, let's move on to our next analysis. Look at this article. It talks about the semiconductor industry stands at the cornerstone of technological advancement and economic prosperity in the contemporary world. In the Indian context, its significance cannot be overstated, considering its pivotal role in powering various sectors crucial for economic growth, such as telecommunication, electronic manufacturing, and informational technology. However, while India has made strides in this field, there remain challenges hindering the realization of its full potential. Despite these advancements, India's semiconductor industry has yet to reach its full potential due to several reasons. In this context, let us discuss a mains question through our usual answer writing approach. Now look at the question. Discuss the significance of semiconductor industry to the Indian economy. Do you believe India's semiconductor industry has reached its full potential? Explain the reasons for the same. Also highlight government recent initiatives to strengthen India's semiconductor ecosystem. See, it comes under the syllabus of GS Paper 3. Let's start with an introduction. The semiconductor industry plays a pivotal role in driving economic growth, technological innovation, and national security. India, a nation with established reputation in the software domain, has increasingly recognizing the immense potential of software of the semiconductor industry in both economic and strategic dimensions. Now coming to the body of the answer, first we have to know about the significance of semiconductor industry to Indian economy. So firstly, the technological advancement. Semiconductor industry forms a backbone of modern technology, powering various sectors such as telecommunication, automotive, healthcare, and consumer electronics. India's robust semiconductor ecosystem fuels innovation and enables the country to stay at best of global technological developments. Second one is economic growth. See, the semiconductor industry contributes significantly to India's GDP, exports, and employment generation. By fostering a vibrant semiconductor ecosystem, India can enhance its economic resilience and competitiveness in the global market. Nextly, the national security and sovereignty. A robust semiconductor industry is imperative for ensuring national security and sovereignty. It reduces dependence on imports, particularly for critical components in defense and strategic sectors, thereby strengthening India's self-reliance and resilience against geopolitical uncertainties. The semiconductor industry creates high-value jobs across various domains, including research and development, manufacturing, design, and testing. Additionally, it drives skill development initiatives, nurturing a talent pool of engineers and technologists equipped with cutting-edge expertise. Now here, we can add a subheading, that is assessment of India's semiconductor industry. Despite its inherent potential, India's semiconductor industry is yet to realize its full capacity. Several factors contribute to this, and we shall see them one by one. First one is limited indigenous manufacturing. India heavily relies on semiconductor imports, primarily from countries like Taiwan, South Korea, and China. The absence of robust domestic manufacturing base hampers self-reliance and exposes the country to a supply chain vulnerabilities, as witnessed during the recent global chip shortage. The second one is lack of R&D, that is research and development. India lags behind in semiconductor research and development, infrastructure, and investment compared to the global counterparts. Insufficient focus on R&D impedes innovation and indigenous chip design capabilities, constraining the industry's growth potential. The next one is infrastructure and policy bottlenecks. Challenges related to infrastructure, regulatory framework, taxation, and intellectual property rights hinder the establishment and expansion of semiconductor fabrication centers and design centers in India. Addressing these bottlenecks is crucial for attracting investment and fostering industrial growth. Now, coming to the second part of the answer, government initiatives to strengthen India's semiconductor ecosystem. The government has launched initiatives such as Production Link Incentive Scheme to incentivize the semiconductor manufacturing in India. This includes offering financial incentive and infrastructural support to attract investment in semiconductor fabrication centers, thereby promoting domestic production and reducing import dependence. Nextly, recognizing the importance of skilled workforce, the government has launched skill development programs in collaboration with industry stakeholders to bridge the talent gap in semiconductor design, manufacturing and testing. Recently, India has set aside 11 to 12 billion to support semiconductor design startups under Semiconductor Design Link Incentive Scheme. With regard to research and development, incentives like Semiconductor Technology and Application Research Center aim to boost indigenous R&D capabilities in semiconductor design and manufacturing. Moreover, partnership with academic and international collaboration facilitate knowledge exchange and technology transfer, fostering innovation and competitiveness. More importantly, the government has undertaken policy reforms to streamline regulatory process, enhance ease of doing business and create conducive environment for semiconductor investment. This includes measures to simplify land acquisition, expedite approvals and provide financial incentives for research and developmental activities. Bilateral collaborations like MOU signed between India-US Commercial Dialogue and the Semiconductor Supply Chain Initiative between India, Japan and Australia are the indications of India's proactive approach in this domain. That's all about the body part of this answer. Now moving on to the conclusion part. The semiconductor industry holds immense potential to drive India's economic growth, technological advancement and strategic self-reliance. While significant strides have been made, realizing the full potential of India's semiconductor ecosystem requires concerned effort from stakeholders, including the government, industrial players, academia and the workforce. By addressing the existing challenges, leveraging opportunities and implementing proactive policies and initiatives, India can emerge as a global powerhouse in the semiconductor domain, contributing to both national prosperity and global innovation. That's all about this answer. Let's move on to our next discussion. Look at this news article. It states that the polling for a second phase of Lok Sabha election in 88 constituencies across 13 states was largely peaceful. The voter turnout was nearly 61% as the provisional data from Election Commission states. This is the crux of the news article given here. In this context, let us discuss the condition for declaring a party to be a national party and benefits of being declared so. First, let us see the criteria to be eligible for a national political party in India. Firstly, the party has to secure at least 6% of valid votes polled in any 4 or more states at a general election to a Lok Sabha or to the state legislative assembly. In addition, it should win at least 4 seats in the Lok Sabha from any state. The next criteria is the party should win at least 2% seats in Lok Sabha, that is 11 seats in existing house having 543 members, and these members are elected from at least 3 different states. Lastly, the party is recognized as a state party in at least 4 states. Now let us see which parties are recognized as national parties in India over the period of time. See, in the first general elections of India, that is in 1951 to 52, India had 14 national parties. Slowly over a period of time, it got diluted and at present there are only 6 recognized national parties in India. They are BJP, INC, CPI Marxist, National People's Party, Bahujan Samaj Party, Aam Aadmi Party. Know that in April 2023, Election Commission of India removed 3 parties from the list of national parties. They are Trinamool Congress, Nationalist Congress Party, Communist Party of India, CPI. If a party is granted national status, it has specific benefits and advantages like reserved party symbol. Its candidate gets more coverage on television and radio during elections. Moreover, the parties will have the right to use the reserved symbol for all the election held throughout the country. Also, a national party can engage 40 star campaigners compared with 20 for a registered unrecognized party. The expense of a star campaigner are not included in the party's overall cost of organizing an election campaign. A national party receives land from government to build its headquarters. They need only one proposer in order to submit a nomination. During the roll revision, they are provided with 2 free sets of electoral rolls. They also get 1 free electoral roll for each candidate during the general elections. These are the benefits of being a national party. Now, with this basic understanding, let's move on to see our next discussion. Look at this news article. Government has extended the interim approval given to the plant protection companies for the use of drones for spraying specified pesticides. The approval has been extended for 1 more year starting from April 18, 2024. In this backdrop, let us learn what is a drone and how it is regulated in India. So what are drones? See, drones are unmanned aerial vehicle or the aircraft with no onboard crew. Drones can range from remotely piloted to fully automated. This means that it relies on a system of sensors and lidar, that is light detection and ranging detectors, to calculate its movement. It can fly at a controlled level of height and a speed for a long period of time. See, drones have numerous applications in aviation, ranging from monitoring climate change to carrying out post-disaster search operation, filming, communication in remote areas to military operation. In India, the use of all unmanned or automated aerial vehicles is governed by Directorate General of Civil Aviation, that is DGCA. In 2021, the central government has promulgated the Drone Rules 2021 to regulate the use and the operation of drones or unmanned aerial system in India. These rules replace the erstwhile Unmanned Aircraft System Rules 2021 and liberalized regulation. Let us go through the provisions of the rule one by one. See, the aim of the rule is to create a digital sky platform. A digital sky platform is nothing but a business-friendly single-window online system with a minimum human interference where the most of the permissions will be self-regulated. Secondly, the rules have reduced the red tape involved in the process of seeking compliance. For example, the number of forms and the type of fees has been reduced. Finally, the rule stated that the type certificate is required only when a drone is to be operated in India. Importing and manufacturing drones purely for export or exempt from the type certification and unique identification number. Know that the type certificate can be obtained from Director General, that is DG, or any entity authorized by DG on the recommendation of the Quality Control of India or an authorized testing entity to operate the drone. The drone needs to comply with the certain mandatory safety features mentioned in the rules to obtain this certificate. Also, the nano and the model drones that are made for research or recreational purpose are exempted from this type of certification. Here, nano drone mean the drones that are less than or equal to 250 grams. Previously, only the drones up to 300 kg were covered under the rules, but the maximum weight for a drone has been extended up to 500 kg under the present rules. In case the weight of drone is more than 500 kg, the provisions of Aircraft Rules 1937 shall apply instead of drone rules. The rules include a regulation of drone taxis into the ambit of rules as well. In addition to the drone type certification, the rules mandate the registration of individual drones and obtaining unique identification number UIN. This UIN is like our Aadhaar number that contains all the details about the manufacturer, the drone's flight control module and the ground control station. The rules also restrict the operations of a drone by any person other than the holder of valid remote pilot license, that is RPL, enlisted on the platform. A recent amendment to the rules in 2022 states that the remote pilot certificate, earlier it was a license, will not be required for flying small to medium-sized drones up to 2 kg for non-commercial purposes. These are certain important provisions of the Act. Now let us see some challenges associated with the regulations of UAV, that is Unmanned Aerial Vehicle or drones. The first important challenge is its technological vulnerability. See, drones are high-tech products and are vulnerable to hijacking. Although communications between drones and remote controllers are encrypted, the encrypted codes are often the same, making hijacking a simple target. Secondly, an unauthorized drone can breach restricted airspace, threaten sensitive installation, and interfere with the commercial aviation. This raises safety and security concerns. Thirdly, drones can be used to smuggle illegal goods, narcotics, and weapons across the borders. It can be used to gather intelligence on the troop movement and sensitive installations, which can breach the national security. For example, India witnessed its initial drone attack at the Air Force Station in Jammu on June 27, 2021, where 2 low-flying drones carried improvised explosive devices. Finally, drones equipped with cameras can invade personal privacy without consent. This raises privacy concerns. These are certain challenges associated with the regulation of UAV or drones. That's all about this article. Having discussed about important news articles from today's newspaper, there are few more news articles that we need to cover. Let's see them one by one. The first article is Supreme Court backs EVM, rules out the revival of paper ballot. With regard to this article, we need to understand about EVM from our prelims perspective. See, EVM has revolutionized Indian election since their debut in 1982 in Kerala. They are manufactured by Bharat Electronical Limited and Electronic Corporation of India Limited. EVM ensures secure, transparent and efficient voting process. They were first used nationwide in 2004, replacing the traditional paper ballots. Here, it is to be noted that an EVM is designed with 2 units, a control unit and a balloting unit. With the EVM, instead of issuing a paper ballot, the polling officer will press the ballot button which enables the voter to cast their vote. It is important to know that the program used in EVM cannot be reprogrammed in a particular manner. Furthermore, the EVM or the standalone machines which are not accessible remotely from any network. So it eliminates the chance of getting tampered. That's all about EVM. Our next article is D-License Go First Fleet. This is an article from The Hindu today. Here we need to understand about DGCA in brief. See, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation is a regulatory body governing the safety aspect of civil aviation in India. It is attached office of the Ministry of Civil Aviation. The DGCA headquarters are located in New Delhi with a regional office in various parts of India. The administration of DGCA vests with Director General. It is important to know that the Aircraft Act 1934 was amended in 2020. Section 4A of Aircraft Amendment Act 2020 talks about creation of DGCA by the central government for the regulation of civil aviation. So, DGCA is a statutory body. With this, let's move on to our daily practice questions. Look at this question. The Dua Formation is a part of which of the following? Option A, Kashmir Himalayas. Option B, Arunachal Himalayas. Option C, Purvachal Himalayas. Option D, Sikkim Himalayas. And the correct answer is option D, Sikkim Himalayas. Look at the second question. As per the current practice, when a rival faction within a recognized national or a state political party claim the name and symbol of the undivided pattern party, the dispute between them will be resolved by option A, Election Commission of India on the basis of Election Symbols Reservation and Allotment Order 1968. Option B, Election Commission of India on the basis of Conduct of Election Rules 1961. Option C, either the High Court or the Supreme Court of India. Option D, the rival fractions solve themselves internally. And the correct answer is option A, Election Commission of India on the basis of Election Symbol, Reservation and Allotment Order 1968. That's all for today's discussion. Behind me is the today's mains practice question. Interested candidates can write it in the comment section below. If you like this video, please do share and subscribe. Thank you.